Hello and welcome. My name is Bubba Fabes and welcome to my channel. Today I've got another great tips and tricks video for you guys, but before I get into it, there's a few things I want to go over first, and that is that the information in this video alone won't make you a fantastic player. You can't just watch my video and then expect your gameplay to change, especially some of the tips and tricks in this one. This is going to require you to go into your own personal custom game and practice some of these things and get some of the timings and whatnot down pat, and that is what it requires to become a good player to a great player. That is the sacrifice that is needed. So if you really want to dedicate yourself to be a feared name in Rainbow Six Siege, you're gonna have to play a couple solo games. So now that that is out of the way, getting right into the tips and tricks, the first one that I want to talk to you guys about is from a request down in the comments section. So again, if you guys want to know something, leave it down below. I'll either answer you, or if I think is a very good topic, I'll even make a video on it. So don't forget to leave a comment down below if there's anything you want to hear about. So this first tip and trick is about floor banes with grenades. This is being able to kill people from the floor underneath by timing the grenade perfectly. Alright, so getting right into it, let's say they're defending up here. We sent in a drone and we've noticed that somebody's sitting in this spot. Now, especially with Echo as well as Valkyrie, this will be a common spot for them to sit, as they will be just sitting on their cameras or making callouts. So now that we know that somebody's here, they think it's a safe spot. There's not many places that they can be shot from, at least so they think. So once we see that he's not going anywhere, we can instantly think that, well, I can get a free and easy kill because I know underneath him is destructible. So using that to our advantage, and that again comes with knowing the maps, and this again takes practice, but knowing that it's destructible, we'll get right into learning about grenade timing and throwing. Grenades have a 5-second fuse, so we're going to consider that in our timing with throwing the grenade as well as our distance. Now remember, with distances, don't stand right under the spot where we want to throw it. Sounds obvious, but I've seen it a few times, so I'm going to put it in this video. So minding that, we're going to back up a little bit. Now again, remember, try to keep the distance consistent when you're practicing, because again, being a little bit closer and a little bit farther is going to affect the timing of your grenade. So we're going to keep about distance about here's where I normally practice from, as well as we're going to crouch down a little bit because we're going to be tossing a grenade up, and if we're a little bit further down from the roof, it'll just make it easier for that grenade to fly and land right under where we want it. So throwing the grenade is going to be 3 seconds, keeping in mind that if something changes and you panic, you can always just scroll down on the weapons wheel to put that grenade back in your pocket. You don't have to like panic toss it, get someone else killed, or even waste that grenade. So we have our distance, we are going crouched, and we're going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3, throw, boom, explosions, perfect area that we want it for that perfect kill. Alright, so the next tip and trick that I want to talk to you guys is a more advanced peeking tactic. And this is more snap peeking. Before, when I talked about peeking, lean is on toggle, which means I push the button once, he's leaning to the right, I don't have to worry about it, and just kind of, you can dance back and forth behind cover, and it's an effective way to lean and peek a room. Now, this process, this more advanced tactic, is putting your lean on hold, which means if I hit E, as long as I'm holding down that key, he's going to be leaning. I let go of the key and I snap back to regular. The advantage of using this is it allows us to basically bounce our head into that open area, giving us that peek, and it reveals less of our body. It makes it that much harder to see us, and it's a much more effective peek, but it's also a lot more difficult to do. This is going to require a lot more practice. So the process of doing this basically is we want to be behind cover, and then I'm going to kind of hold down the right strafe button, so D, a little bit, just to get me just a tad bit away. I don't want to be fully exposed yet, because I'm going to roll over to the lean button, and that's just going to peek my head in just enough to see the open area. And then as soon as I can get a shot off, then I'm strafing right back behind cover, and doing this quick and effectively can result in just your head snapping in and out, making it very difficult to catch and shoot. So basically it looks like this, and it's a very quick and effective tool to be able to peek someone if you know that they're there. But again, it takes a lot of practice to get right, but I highly recommend it. I'm just still practicing it myself. I'm doing these solo matches just to practice this peek because it takes some time to adjust to this new lean mechanic. So this is just an example of what it looks like from both sides. You can see as the defender it's just a quick little snap, but from my screen is you can kind of see that I'm still able to get a clear shot on his head. Continuing on with the changes that you can make in your settings that will make the big difference. First one I'm going to talk about goes a lot with bandit and thermite, so like bandit tricking, and this has to do with gadget deployment. Now it's very important to change, and it's out of all the tips, this is probably the easiest one to adapt to. So first of all, going into your settings and go into your controls, and you'll see gadget deployment for standard and advanced. Now standard has a lot of problems, is that basically all you have to do is click that button, he'll go through that animation. But the problem with going through that animation is that once you're in that process, there's no stopping it. For example, right there is, I was putting that on the wall, I could hear him doing it, but he was stuck in the process. I couldn't stop. My gadget was done even before I knew it blew up. So changing that to advanced gives us that kind of control. As we're laying the gadget onto the wall, we're able to hear, and even sometimes when they put it down really early, we can see that electricity going on, and we're able to stop the animation, saving our gadget. This also works for the bandit side, that if, let's say, the bandit puts it on too late, he's stuck in that animation while that charge is going off. Well, if he can't move, he's gonna die. So change this to advanced, get used to it, because being able to stop your animation gives you so much flexibility over what you're doing. Alright, so the last tip I want to talk to you guys about changing your settings to make things easier for you is going to be in your HUD options. And this one is going to be talking about the teammate outline. Now, the teammate outline is nice when you're starting out. You can kind of see your teammates around the map, where they are. Helps your teamwork work together and whatnot, but it can also hinder your vision, especially if, let's say, you're pushing in on a position, you're looking in on a single room, but one of your teammates is on the other side. So let's say I'm trying to look inside this room here, I'm looking for a player, but one of my teammates might be rappelling on the other side here. It's going to be harder for me to see small movements and stuff when I see my glowing teammate on the other end of the room. And sometimes it has masked enemies where I've just looked at them, seen them, but not shot at them because they're pretty much in the same outline as my teammate, and I've missed out on that opportunity. Alright, so getting into some of the tips and tricks on the new operators. Basically, we have Habana and Echo, but first I'll be talking about Habana and her breaching rounds. This is the new addition to Rainbow Six Siege that allows us to break through those defender fortified metal walls. Before, we just had Thermite. If Thermite died, you're out of luck. So now we have Habana and her gun, and basically her gun has 3 rounds, and each round, as you see on the wall, it basically kind of displays this rectangle, and this is kind of your breaching point. So wherever you want to put these holes, you just line up that square and you enter right in. With these 3 rounds, is one single round isn't enough for you to jump through. You need to stack 2 on top of each other to enter into the building. You can do ones just create windows, that can be super helpful, or 1 round can open up a hatch, and that is super handy if you have both Thermite and Habana. Send Habana in to open up hatches above, because don't waste an entire Thermite charge on that. Habana can get 3, and then your Thermite can just open up complete main doors and whatever garage or opening that you are coming across. But let's say you don't have that option. Habana has a sneaky little trick that you can do to enter into a building without wasting 2 of her charges. So we set it down low, setting it off, and then all you have to do is run at it, and basically right when you hit this door, you're gonna go lay down, crawl through, and spam the stand up button, and basically this will allow you to get into the room almost instantly, not much of a delay, so it's not wasting much time. and you're good to go. So that's only one charge. You can still enter a room, leaving you 2 more to do whatever else with. Another little tip and trick that I highly suggest to use is pair her up with Blackbeard. So set her up against the wall, put her charge a little bit higher, because what you're going to do is you're going to shoot the top 3 out, leaving only a small window behind. And this is easy because now Blackbeard, if this is fortified wall, Blackbeard has a safe and easy window where he can dominate this entire room without the defenders being able to hit him very easily. They just have to go for a shield, and since he has that advantage, he can take out this room, hold it down very easily. So I highly recommend that, leaving her with 1 charge left to do whatever else you want with. Now, the very last thing I want to talk to you guys about, it has to do with Echo and his blasts. Now, basically, most of this stuff is known by now, but I'll go over it quickly anyways. First thing is, the blast will disrupt Montaigne's shield being fully extended. He'll drop that extension, allowing you to shoot at his legs or whatnot again. Also, noticing that when blasted, the more you move around, the drunker you get, the more wobbly you are. So if you get blasted, stand still, don't move, and you'll notice it'll go by much quicker, and it'll be much easier for you to aim. Also, with that blast, it disrupts Gadget Deployment. Let's say another Thermite's laying a charge, sending a blast him way will stop him from laying that charge. But the most useful use of this is when somebody's trying to plant the bomb, especially when there's just a couple of seconds left. Somebody's setting the diffuser up, hit him with a blast, he will stop that animation, stopping him from defusing the bomb. Last test would be to see if you drop the hostage when you get hit with a blast, but it turns out to be false. You don't drop the hostage, you're still able to run around with them, allowing you to get away. Well guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you were able to learn something, pick up a couple tips and tricks. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and let me know down below, as well as let me know if there's any tips and tricks I might have missed or anything else that you might want to know or hear about. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I wouldn't want you to miss out on any other content I have coming out. And until next time, my friends, I will see you later.